them fight it out at an APAC playoffs, and wow, I just cannot wait to kick this one off. Consulate, of course, is the map. It's Invictus's pick. Invictus themselves, fantastic form heading into this map, and no doubt they'll be wanting to claim it.
That's it. Fnatic have not been slumps. They've certainly been on the up and up as of late, and making their presence known within APAC North and the wider APAC playoffs as well. Fnatic, the only team in Stage 2 that made it to playoffs that also made it to playoffs in Stage 1. Invictus rocketing through, scraping into these playoffs on their final playday. And of course, we are playing here in the second last game of the lower bracket. Whoever wins here will have a chance to go to Mexico. They'll just have to defeat the loser of Elevate and Damwon. But let's chew on these bans for a minute. It's already looking pretty spicy.
Yeah, Twitch Nomad taken off the board on the attack. That means that all hard breaches, Thatcher and Flores also have made it through. Nomad, not too unexpected here on Constant, but Twitch obviously a little bit of an unusual one. That said, of course, her drones are very potent. They can take down default cameras to cover pushes, clear utility, etc. On the other side with the defense, Valk expected once again here on Consulate. Those black eye cameras very, very potent. And with the Wamai taken off the board as well, that will mean that the defense will have to lean heavily into the Jaeger and maybe also the Aruni as well.
Invictus just insta-ban that Wamai. They really don't like playing with her in the, him in the server. And for Fnatic, their bans are interesting again. Like Nomad and Valkyrie, both very common bans. But what that kind of results us in is a situation where you can run out without worrying about those air jabs, jump out of windows, etc., as people love to do on Consulate, but you don't have those Valk cams to give you info to enable that. And you know, we're probably going to see attacks really rely on hard watching these angles, perhaps claymores, maybe even a bit of gridlock. I've noticed Invictus have played it a bunch. Hysterics, I think, has been the main proponent of that. But for now, as Invictus start on their defense, they've actually gone for Archives and Tellers. Not a bomb site we've seen from them a whole lot, even though they did play it earlier today in their match against Fab Gaming.
Already some mind games being played here in the reveal phase and the 6-pick phase. We saw Tex jump off the Amaru onto the Thatcher and Speakeasy off the Clash over towards Pulse, trying to cover the fact that Invictus are in fact defending split first. Now this is an objective that Invictus do enjoy playing, and in fact a lot of high-level teams will attempt, but to bring it out first, very much a confident play here from Invictus. Often we'll see teams go for more default objectives, which is basically any of the other three outside of split. We very often see split actually attempted first. So this will be a good test of which team, or are both teams, ready for this matchup. Of course, they're both coming off the back of a best of 3. Now, neither of which went the distance. They were both 2 mappers, but still, this is, of course, a test of endurance.
Yeah, that it is. Both of these teams have already been giving it their all through the playoffs, day 1 and day 2 so far. Fnatic on the ingress looking to take some control of Downing Garage. Not heavy presence from Invictus to meet them as of yet. Just going to give them that map control. Fnatic does slowly whittle away. Drones coming through. Heavy, heavy presence from Invictus, though, at the top floor on the east side, mounting around admin. Several players here, including that mirror window, which has now been popped so that they can take a reverse angle through it.
Fnatic looking to go from the west side across, already gained control of Garage in through Cafeteria and Security, so they may well try and mount for a full downstairs take as opposed to contesting that control above. Risky here for Fnatic, but can they pull it off?
Very, very risky indeed, and they are punished. Speakeasy finally traded out, but it may be too little too late. That said, Mentalist does find another pick on the site. Caught in the crossfire, he will not survive. Invictus, a strong opening round, punishing that aggressive take from Fnatic.
Both teams looking to outbrain one another. Invictus, again, went to split to try and get a cheeky early round on the board. Fnatic tried to contest that by taking it head-on with the horizontal take. Now, of course, it didn't work out. Invictus were prepared and able to mow them down as they were filtered in towards the site. In doing so, they claim a cheeky first round, but don't anticipate rounds to come that easily from here on out.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, right, where it comes down to partly Fnatic's decision to go for that Lockers Rush and partly Invictus's response and readiness to that. But you mentioned the Clash previously. We do have her 6 picked onto this time around. I think that Invictus once again playing a little bit of a game in that reveal phase, showing that they had, I believe it was the Echo, instead 6 picking onto the Clash. Perhaps hinting that this might be a garage defense, when of course we see that it is in fact a CEO defense. And look at that, actually completely reinforcing the cubby in CEO. I guess this is a bit more of a modern interpretation of this bomb site. It used to be all about holding yellow stairs. You make sure you have those line of sight into the bomb site, so when people do rappel in, you can kill them from the yellow stairs. But no, it's kind of the opposite now. You're probably going to be forfeiting yellow stairs to the attackers who don't really want those angles available.
Yeah, back in the good old days, you could play with Jaeger, and then with the introduction of Rumai, him as well, and there was a huge ability to deny projectiles, and we would often see attackers standing outside throwing 9 flashbangs in and a couple of nades to try and actually just clear that location. Of course, Rumai is banned, and Jaeger has now been nerfed for quite some time. Those ADS devices not quite as good as catching so many projectiles, and that does mean that Yellow not really on the cards. Oh, Hysterics though. He's on point. That's Tellers to find that first pick. The hard breacher off the board. One of the hard breachers here for Fnatic as Hysterics narrowly misses the one tap.
I'm really liking this aggression from Invictus. They are bringing everything they've got to Fnatic and not eager to sit back and wait. They want to take the fight to them. Don't let Fnatic get comfortable. I think that's the play here. A good read from Invictus, and they do get an early man advantage. How many players do we see at windows ready to jump out? All these spawn peaks as well. Like, this is insatiable.
As we often see, Nomad banned. Mag though on the rappel, ready and waiting, anticipating a potential run out here from Invictus, but there's no real pressure for the defenders to go for anything too crazy at the moment. Invictus have the man advantage, and they don't really want to be throwing that away cheaply. Sure, it would be great to get a pick, maybe even a trade out there onto Mag. It could be worth it, but I think it's probably wise off here for Invictus to just hunker down and play off this intel, especially that Hysterics is gathering basically for free down below with the cardiac sensor. It's going to be tricky for Fnatic to counter this.
Ooh, here's a run out, and that's going to be a freebie on the con rappel. Mag goes down. That's the second hard breacher. More importantly, that diffuser down on the ground. The idea here for Fnatic was to collapse upon Lunar Metal in meeting, but it just ain't working, not one bit. 5v2 now for the defense. And IG have a lot of information as well. Finally, Styx does find the first pick for Fnatic. Hysteric's going to keep contesting here. A bit of a dangerous game to be playing here. The Styx starts to peter on away. Looks like Fnatic have a lot of work to do.
Invictus knowing exactly where these two attackers are coming from. One on the meeting balcony and the other inside of Visa. And Luna is in a very powerful position, able to deny both those entries as the rest of the team holds the push down long desk. Fnatic, Lusty and Styx need to try and work together here to find something, but it's a very, very tall order.
See a repel for Lusty, but IG in safe positions. Low HP for Styx, but he had the read for a second until he did flick away, and Hysterics was enabled. His third kill. Lusty's just going to bait on the roof now, unfortunately. So that's it for Fnatic. That's their hope in this round out the window. Just like all of those Invictus players were as they go for the runouts. Really, really nice round from Invictus and a strong, decisive early lead.
That round a little bit closer than the first over towards Split. Upstairs on that occasion, Invictus just with a hint of aggression. We did see some early picks go their way and they played off it really, really nicely. They had great intel on where the remaining attackers were, and they were able to play very passively and allow them to burn time. I mean, Fnatic didn't even have an opportunity to get the diffuser to be any chance to get back in towards that round. So the odds were always against the attack, and Invictus are doing a really good job on their map pick so far.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Invictus are really not even breaking a sweat. Fnatic are being outplayed at the moment. This aggression from Invictus is giving Fnatic a lot to think about, and really, there are just so many moments when Invictus is just making a play and Fnatic is struggling to receive it and deal with it. Now we finally go down to what is arguably the best bomb site for the defense on this map. which is Garage Cafeteria. Finally, Mag is probably going to be able to use his exothermic charges. He's been dying without using them so far. As we finally have an application, pick Thermite, because you don't know whether it's going to be Garage Cafeteria or one of the other bomb sites, and really you only need him for basement, but you kind of have to bring him if it's upstairs anyway, if the basement isn't locked. One of the things I did want to touch on, though, is if you were here watching that historical match before this game started, it was Fnatic versus Airwolf, which is, of course, the name that a lot of these Invictus players formerly went by. And Mentalist was actually playing for Airwolf at that time. So it was after that season, Season 10 of Pro League, that Mentalist then went on over to Fnatic, and it was actually their first international import as well.
Yeah, one of the highlights of that event was the post-match. In fact, the emotion from Mentalist when he finally took down Fnatic was beautiful to watch, and to now see him on this Fnatic roster, quite the story. And of course, Mentalist himself stepping in for Alfama at the moment, who unfortunately is unable to play for the roster, and that is just, I guess, another hurdle that Fnatic have had to try and overcome. It's been a pretty rough last 18 months for this team, looking to try and regain the form that we know them for. They're a famous name in APAC for a reason, and they're looking to reach those heights once again. And of course, winning this matchup, they'd be one step closer to Mexico. It's a big step at that, though. And as you mentioned, basement, one of the trickier objectives to attack. We have seen teams so far this afternoon struggle a little bit here. In fact, it was Fav in particular who found it really tough to mount attacks. What can Fnatic do?
Step 1 is roam clear, and step 2 is to get this vert. Thing is, that roam clear is not complete, not fully. Now, I don't know whether that's intentional from Fnatic, whether they perhaps knew that there was a possibility for another roamer to be upstairs, because Hysterics was just prone on a desk in admin. Surely Fnatic don't just take for granted the whole map is clear. What you kind of have to do here is always just be watching those flanks actively and wary that you may be getting flanked. That's exactly what Fnatic are doing. You can see Stiggs just pre-aiming lobby there, and now Mentalist is going for the chase, actually. His former teammate Hysterics in admin at the moment, who will get the better of the other.
3 players on Fnatic on drones at the moment, so not sure if Hysterics has been hunted down. Do they know he's in this position? Mentalist does, finds that pick. It's a huge run for Fnatic. They have 45 seconds left now and vert control. An unfortunate Nitro Cell from Jordan will get caught in the roof above, so that won't find its mark. And look at all the groundwork that Fnatic have done. They're in a good position to think about this execute.
Really aggressive peek from Joe, however, and that does take down Mag. That's the smokes gone from Fnatic's lineup, but numbers advantage in their favor. Breach open, really, with 20 seconds left. Fnatic have just about everything they would want as they go for this execute. Jordan could deny, but Tex flicks up just in time. It's on Joe now in the 1 versus 4. No util to speak of. He's got to do it with the Alda, and Lusty shuts him down. Fnatic, a very nice attack.
Clean and decisive there from Fnatic. A good early pick there on the roam, onto the Vigil from Mentalist, and then a really good setup there on the plant. Now, of course, that player side white there for Invictus. I believe that was Jordan. Yeah, trying to hit that swing. Of course, if he hit that double kill there, could have been a very, very different story, but Fnatic do a good job in shutting him down. It was a 4v1, and from that position, again, particularly on basement, very, very difficult to allow that round to slip away. So good response from Fnatic, and importantly, they don't allow Invictus to lock in 3 sites in a row.
It's funny, you would usually think Garage Cafeteria is the best for the defense. I said it previously, but they're not the case so far for Invictus. And partly, I think it comes down to Fnatic just had a really good attack. I think that is the main distinct factor. If you compare round 3 to the previous 2, it's just that Fnatic played really well. I think that we were looking for a lot more from them in their first 2 attacks. By round 3, it just looked like Garage is something that they've spent a lot more time practicing. Really good roam clear onto Hysterics. Not kind of over-hunting him, but just watching for his aggression. And Mentalist got the better of him. Now, of course, we go to lobby. This is actually the 4th bomb site we're seeing from IG as they go around the world. And look, I respect that. Not going back to tellers. Just keep your opponents guessing. If you have depth in your bomb site choice on this map, then why not use it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Keep Fnatic on their toes. Force them to be the ones constantly needing to adjust. Jordan over towards yellow stairs. Considers a spawn pick. Tex did spawn out on that location, but will play more any potential jump out. Fnatic probably looking to do a top-down take. I'll drone in. Scout ahead. Stronghold above here from Invictus, no doubt going to be very, very difficult to deal with.
A couple operator changes here from Fnatic. The main ones that Mag's gone for the Ace, a little bit more versatile than the third one, but not as ideal on that Garage. Fortunately for him, that won't matter. The other one, and the more important one here, is Mentalist on the Jackal. Now, could help with hunting these roamers, as he does, I believe, scan a foot. No, doesn't quite scan a footprint there. Oh, and there's the first pick. Really nice work from Fnatic to put that pressure onto Meeting and take down Joe.
Now, if I saw that correctly, Mentalist sneaking up spiral stairs, trying to take top floor control. No, he's outside, so I was going to say it would have been pretty wild if he was doing what I thought he may have been. He is instead outside bench windows. Tex alongside. Of course, very difficult at the moment in the Consulate meta to gain map control, but with that smoke, Fnatic can start to pop off.
Ooh, nice nade, and here comes the execute. Baited out now, Mentalist gets off, repositions slightly. These gas babes not fully covering. The Yokai does come around, and that should deny for just a moment longer. In the midst of that, IG get aggressive. Speakeasy knows he has that diffuser down, and it's all on Mag. Really well played. Great usage of the Yokai Jones. And Invictus spring into action now. It's all on Fnatic's captain to look for his first kill. And hopefully do a little bit more than that in this 1v3. Hoping to find something. Oh no, as if there's an ADS there as well. Can take down that shield eventually, but a lot of time to work with. And he's just not going to get it done. Jordan swings around with the pistol at the end of it. I don't know how that impact grenade... The impact grenade somehow destroyed the Selma without destroying the shield. That is just silly, really. But to tie a bow on it, nice round from Invictus.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one there to close things out. Fnatic trying to go for an opportunistic play, throwing out those smoke grenades to allow the likes of Tex and Mentalist to jump in through benches, trying to get that plant down over towards Circle Desk, but the groundwork hadn't really been done there. No one covering that anti-chamber rotation. The Yokai drones as well still posted up. Made that very, very tricky for Fnatic, and has been a very, very solid defense here from Invictus. I think they've done a great job here so far. There's a reason they headed to Consulate. We knew they had good form. They also played really well before against Fav, and it seems like that momentum really is continuing on.
And that is the other part of this, right? Is the fact that Invictus did pick Consulate here. So I guess that is one factor that you can perhaps hold dear to you if you're a Fnatic fan. You're seeing them down. Yes, they're on the attack. And yes, they are going on their opponent's map pick. Should we get to Clubhouse, perhaps we'll have a slightly different story, but I'm not sure I'm convinced of that. We've seen Invictus can play Clubhouse as well. They had a very convincing win over Fav Gaming right there.
10 seconds to insert.
And so the fact that Invictus, really all they have to do against Fnatic is exactly what they did against Fav in terms of the map picks. It does give you some confidence for them.
Yeah. Both performances were quite dominant by Invictus, so being able to play them back-to-back here against Fnatic and potentially win the series has got to be a very, very nice feeling. But of course, that second map for Fnatic, we really don't know what to expect from them. They haven't got the best form, they haven't played it a whole lot either, so maybe they've got something hidden, something ready to go to take down their opponents. But at the moment, of course, all focus here over towards Consulate. The Lion brought here by Tex might indicate that Fnatic will prepare for an execute and try and lock out this defense as much as possible. But with that clash on the board from Luna, as we saw last time, can pose issues.
The console meeting was a pretty cut and dried situation for Invictus last time around on the back of a lot of aggression, early external peaks. Not so this time. Invictus are actually playing quite passively. playing into their advantages. They know that Fnatic have to make the first step. They also have Hysterics downstairs on the pulse as usual, gathering info and also ready to make a play.
Oh.
But Mentalist actually creeps up on him, and Speakeasy gets the better of him. Wow, I have no idea whether Hysterics realized he was being hunted or whether Speakeasy knew that there was a player in lobby, but either way, excellent outcome for IG.
Yeah, really, really well played there from Invictus. Surely Mentalist's footsteps were heard and the call went out to Speakeasy. That would probably be my bet, but yeah, either way, really, really well played. Now, Invictus trying to hold yellow stairs here. We thought that this might not be the case, probably not really the play. Will the nade land? It does from Stigs. That's why yellow is so hard to hold. The swing in there from Lusty, shut down by Joe, who doubles down over towards that yellow position. Tex and Mag in the 2v4.
And a gas to cover it up as well. Wow, this is really great from Invictus. What ground Stigs might have got from that nade was taken back with force by Joe. Now the Clash trapped in the closet, but does that really matter? I mean, Fnatic have got to do something, and they can't save through a repel in straight onto that Clash. Difficult position for Mac and Tex.
I don't think there's really much Fnatic can do in this position. They don't have the best utility to deal with this, and then ultimately as the time whittles down, Mag is going to be forced to swing in, and that surely will be a death trap. I doubt he'll be able to get in this objective.
20 seconds. I mean, Tex has got to be the one to make a play here. Mag can't do anything. So what can Tex do? Go for some cheeky floor bangs? I mean, you know, give it your all. Walk through the barbed wire up white stairs. I mean, Mag's going to repel in, but he's just going to die, and Tex can walk up yellow stairs. He will meet the same fate. A strong round from Invictus, in particular. Joe playing in private bathroom with that MP5K put Fnatic down.
Yeah, incredible play there from Joe. The MP5 with the 1.5 scope can be pretty gnarly. Quite a strong weapon, particularly at that medium range, and did a fantastic job tracing that player on the rappel and then quickly adjusting to Stigs on yellow stairs. Had he have not found those two, Fnatic probably would have been in a better position to facilitate that rappel in from Mag and being able to get that plant down. So a huge, huge play there inside of Private, and Invictus with the 4-1 lead for the final round of the half.
It could well be a 5-1-2, guys. Now, the only attack round Fnatic won was their garage cafeteria attack. Invictus have no need to go there, and they won't. Instead, returning to Teller's Archives. This was the first round of the map, and a fairly decisive win for Invictus on the back of that Lockers rush from Fnatic. Really didn't net a lot of success. In particular, the mirror window that Joe has just placed in Archives has a really good line of sight onto that double door at Lockers, thanks to these holes that he's made in the walls just next to it. Really great observing there. I believe we've got Mandy on at the moment. Thank you, Mandy. Always lovely stuff from you. And yeah, look, guys, I don't know about you, but I am starting to feel like a 5-1 half is creeping up on us.
Yeah, it could be very, very possible, and I am keen to see how Fnatic approach this site. Last time it was the garage sweep. It was a bit of a cheese strat, pocket strat, however you want to frame it, for Fnatic on the attack. This time though, they spawned over towards the east, and that's a pretty strong indication that we'll either see them send it in through Visa. I doubt that. Instead, probably head up above and take admin down below. Now again, with that mirror on the board, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be free real estate necessarily, but it should have a higher strike rate than their previous push.
Or is that actually reinforced this time, Garage? No, it was soft on the last defense. No, it was just, all right, fair enough. Use an exothermic on. What else are you going to use it on, hey?
Yeah, probably not many other options for Mag in this round. Again, that Thermite really only useful here on Consulate for that garage defense.
Ooh, aggressive C4 Speakeasy. He very rarely misses, but unfortunately, that was most certainly not ideal. Looks like he wasn't actually able to pick it up as well. So, wasted C4. A very valuable asset to keep on you during this bomb site, but in fact, there are none left on the Invictus side.
Starting to feel a bit like that historical matchup, Capitao in the server, an operator that doesn't get too much love in the current meta, but it was only a couple of years ago where he was a very popular pick. Tex, of course, lit up already in this round, but still has 2 smoke ults that could be used later in this round. We expect those to be useful for an execute. Halfway into the round, though, and Fnatic are slowly gaining ground up above. Admin forfeited here by Invictus. You can see they've fallen back towards side, or in fact, over towards long. Lusty caught off guard there, just as I was.
Oh my
gets
God!
swung on and gets taken down. The double swing there from Invictus nets a kill.
Double swing, more like triple swing. There were so many people on Lusty's screen, and I'm sure that resulted in a panicked call out. Tex has been able to refrag. Fortunately, coming around that corner on the window does leave us even again. Fnatic hoping to punish some of these players, but Mag, he has smoked off an angle to jump in, but it looks like Invictus have scattered away, retreated, and given up this ground.
Diffuser outside the main door. Mag needs to go collect that. Or someone from Fnatic needs to collect it, unless they're going to back themselves to frag out this round, but with Joe still off site. A lack of intel elsewhere, that's going to be tough. But Mag drops Hysterics, traded by Jordan. That's on to Mentalist, leaves it in the 3-on-3.
Oh, here it is. This is big from Joe. Comes around the corner, takes down Mag. Now in the 2-on-2, it's so difficult for Fnatic to push forward. That said, Tex is stepping up, and he's found another kill. Speakeasy has to clutch, and he's been so good lately. No C4. Speakeasy versus Tex with 7 seconds on the clock. Tex is gonna go for the kill, but Speakeasy's waiting perfectly. A 5-1 half is locked in for Invictus Gaming International.
No kit, no win for Fnatic. Tex had to go for something there, but Speakeasy, he is one of, if not the best clutcher. Maybe not even in APAC South, but in APAC as a whole. And who knows if we get to see Invictus at an international event once again, maybe even the world. He does not lose those, and Tex is a fantastic player. So to win that 1v1, win the round, huge for Invictus. A 5-1 lead. Very difficult to see Fnatic coming back from that.
Yeah, honestly, it's very, very difficult for Fnatic from here on out. They have come back from 2 5-1s today, I will say. To confirm, was certainly can attest to that. But of course, that was Fnatic's defenses that they struggled on, and then they switched to their attacks, and then they won 6 in a row. Also, very different beast on Chalet and Coastline. I think those are maps where you're probably more likely to see one-sided scorelines, and it's more feasible to see these significant comebacks. But here for Fnatic, they are going to have to defend 3 different bomb sites successfully, and at least 2 of those bomb sites twice. So this is going to be incredibly difficult, and I really just, I think Invictus have the momentum right now.
Yeah, fair to say. Probably anticipated heading into this matchup that Invictus would win their map pick, but if it is in a dominant fashion, then that is of course scary for Fnatic and their fans heading into unknown territory for the next 2 maps. We're not too sure if Fnatic will be much stronger there, but of course happy to be proven wrong. We've seen time and time again these teams have really close best of 3, so expect it to still go the distance. Honing in there here on round 7. It's a roam Fnatic to kick things off. Lusty on the Vigil, activates the E1D. Not the E1D, that's Lion. Activates the cloak, rather.
ER7, I think? ERC7?
Yeah, something like that. It's got an E in it. Bit of a brain fade from me and a brain fade from Lusty. Wow, yeah. Luna there on the boost, watching the run out. What an angle to find that pick.
Yeah, and a bit of a bra moment there. Pretty significant pick, a pretty significant loss there for Fnatic, losing not only the player in Lusty, but that means those Vigil signals no longer going to be disrupting Invictus's drones. They're going to have a lot more conviction in taking this map control. Fnatic are relying on some Hail Marys here with these aggressive peaks. For example, this aggression on the yellow stairs, with that aggressive peak from Tex as well in lobby. I'm assuming Tex is starting to back away. No, he's actually still pretty confident here that he wants to take some fights. Should Fnatic get punished for this, it's just going to spiral.
Mag inside of Public. That mirror gets tapped and he's forced to drop. The angle from yellow stairs there was potent, but not potent enough here for Invictus. They don't find that kill just yet, but Mag on a slither of HP. It's difficult to see him surviving the rest of this round. With a minute to go, silence across the map. We can hear the floor being opened up. Of course, that's Jordan up above with the sledgehammer. Invictus surely preparing for a front white plan or something similar to that effect over towards the garage breach. Mentalist could play a huge role by denying the plan, finding a pick, but he doesn't achieve either. And with 35 seconds left, Invictus find themselves in a strong position.
Yeah, the only thing going for Fnatic right now is the fact that Invictus are late. They've only just opened this main wall breach. This execute will be desperate. Invictus could flood the site. They have the numbers. 5 versus 3, 20 seconds on the clock. Styx does have 2 gas babes left to go. Invictus will have to make this execute count. Mag's going to make a desperate play upside white. Invictus still haven't answered. Lunametal's got to get that diffuser planted. And Tex can open things up. A team kill! Oh no! What is this from Invictus? And Fnatic somehow win just thanks to Mag, prone and hidden at side white.
It's a close round there. Fnatic just holding on. Invictus were in prime position to take it, but just unable to close it out in the dying seconds. A really good performance there from Tax, particularly inside of security. A strong entry denial from him, and Mag with the presence of mind to just drop to the deck over towards side white. And again, only on a slither of HP, not taking the risk of a gunfight, instead just staying alive. And that was enough in the end for Fnatic.
Yeah, very, very close though. I feel like there were so many things that went right there for Fnatic during that execute, and if Invictus had just been a little bit tidier, then that would have been quite a decisive Invictus round. You know, 2-man lead pre-execute. When the execute came down as well, they had a lot of util. It was just the timer and a couple of weird question marks, you know, that made team kill, for example. Fnatic are going to have to replicate that success though on other bomb sites. Now, a good start, you know, getting 1 win under your belt, starting this track, and I guess the pattern does continue as well, guys. If Fnatic does not lose when they're on a 1-5 deficit, but you know, they're going to have to do a lot more work here. This is going to be a lot more challenging than the Q-confirm game.
It would be quite remarkable if once again at the end of this matchup we are celebrating a Fnatic victory. It would be the 3rd time in a row today that they have come back from a 1-5 round deficit, which in Siege is pretty damn rare. To come back from that kind of deficit, really, really challenging. So if Fnatic can pull that off, it would be quite the story and would, again, just amplify this best of 3 to another level. I think it was fair to say, though, Invictus probably capitulating a little bit during that execute, the team kill, and not being able to capitalize upon a really strong starting position. Proved costly. If they can continue to be tidy in the early round, I do feel like eventually the late round will probably fall in place.
Looks like the strat from Fnatic is pretty simple here. Got a lot of information gathering, which is nice, but okay, that is the best pick. What a gridlock tracks. Now Styx is going to try and run out. He does get one traded back. My god, this rush is on like Donkey Kong for IG in the 3-on-3, but Tex does actually make this possible for Fnatic. Claws the advantage back into his corner. 3-on-2 now. Denying that plant was pivotal. Little bit egregious here from Invictus. May have capitulated. Fnatic, they just got a hold here as Speakeasy goes hunting, looking for some picks. 2 players upstairs to find. How much info does he have? May well be spotted on the default cam upstairs in just a moment. And we really are returning to a quiet part of the round as IG have a lot of work ahead of them and not a lot of options.
Speakeasy precariously moving up above. It's a sharp shot, but it's going to be tough to bring this back. And with Joe down, it's now officially a 1 versus 3. Doesn't look like he really has much intel. Head checking a lot of these angles. There's a player at the top of the Visa stairs. Speakeasy lit up. No exchange, no response yet. He cooks a grenade to try and clear that position. However, that defender's already rotated back. Lands some shots there onto Mag, but it's him down below on the pulse to clean up the round for Fnatic.
A little bit better there for Fnatic, but again, I kind of want to look at Invictus there and be like, what was that execute? I think that the pivotal moment was when Tex took down Luna while planting. I personally didn't see where that was. I assumed that Invictus had kind of thrown out their smokes and were kind of trying to plant in an off position. Fnatic must have rushed through the smoke. Like, that must have been what Tex's play was. I can't quite, see it on the replays that I've got on my laptop right now, but it's got to be that was what happened there for Fnatic. So yeah, a bit of a shame for Invictus. Again, feels like a round they probably could have won. But that said, it doesn't matter whether it was a winnable round or a losable round. If you lost it, then you lost it. Every single time that happens, like, Fnatic gets one step closer to tying this back up.
2 rounds in a row now where Invictus have had a strong early to mid round. They've set up nicely for the execute, but just faltered at that final hurdle and are struggling to get that plant down. And once you get a plant down on Consulate, being able to retake as a defender on 99% of occasions is going to be impossible. Very, very challenging considering how many deep long lines of sight each of these objectives do have available to the attack once that diffuser is on the deck. Like I said earlier, I think if Invictus can continue to play well as they are in the early round, eventually the late round's going to start clicking into place, but it does reach a point where you can't be lucking it too much because Fnatic are slowly bringing back that disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm really looking at IG now. It's like, come on, you went up 5-1. I know we're going against Fnatic and perhaps they're starting to make a bit of a curse here, coming back in the second half. But look, IG just had 2 winnable rounds in their hands, so it does feel like the onus is on them.
Speakeasy rocking the Fnatic skin.
Nice. Where's my Invictus skin?
I don't know. Hopefully we get an Invictus skin. Cool, that'd be pretty dope. I'd rock that for sure.
What gun would it be on? If you could put it on any gun, what would your Invictus skin be on?
I reckon SMG-11, just because Speakeasy's cracked with the SMG.
Well, you could probably put it on anything Speakeasy touches, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, here goes Mag. He had info here with the cardiac sensor, but no, he's going to die for it. Jordan was cutting that off. Pretty good isolation there from Invictus. Really hunted down Mag.
Mag again going for early round aggression, but shut down Jordan.
Oh, no.
Wow. Stigs tries to find that late trade back, but he as well will feel the pain. The L8 in the hands of Jordan, hitting harder. Great double to open up this round, but Invictus have had advantages before. They need to convert.
God.
But with Speakeasy finding that pick inside of Visa and potentially another one onto Mentalist, surely they could finally get an attack on the board.
And how many picks are Fnatic gonna feed to Invictus? Fortunately, Mentalist does win that one. But quickly traded back. I mean, at this point, what can you say? Tex left in a 1-on-4. If anyone can do it, it's no, it's not Tex. He lost it. So there you go. I guess a valiant effort from Fnatic. I like the ideas of that aggression, but just absolutely shut down.
Yeah, you could see the intent there from Fnatic was if someone falls, someone has to quickly retake that position and try to find the pick back. Good intent, but a pretty disastrous outcome. Mentalist was the only player that eventually was able to find a trade back on a fallen teammate. Even that one was a little bit messy and it was pretty deep into the round considering that both Stigs and Mag had already fallen quite early and the momentum was well and truly with Invictus on that occasion. Now, Invictus have 3 more chances to close this out in regulation. Again, they're putting in really, really good groundwork. And finally now, they have the confidence that they can, in fact, convert an advantage.
Yeah, we are starting to see this lead really, really run away, though, for Invictus. Once you hit that match point, there's no turning back. Fnatic are going to have to push OT. That curse has been broken. No longer are we going to see that 5-1 to 7-5 comeback. I don't know if there's much that Fnatic can really, I guess, lean back on here. They're going back to Garage Cafeteria, which is the site they won. And fortunately, you know, they are changing their strategy a little bit. They're keeping the mirror in from last Teller's defense and adapting it into their garage defense. Also have that Vigil roaming. The thing is, like, last time Fnatic's roam was just really poor. They lost 2 players. It was Invictus taking so long to get that breach open and shape up for an execute that I think ended up being the death of IG. Let's see if Fnatic can take their fate into their own hands.
I do like the mentality here from Fnatic. It does produce entertaining siege. They're going to try and find picks. That's their goal. Let's try and wither down our opponents and really make those executes tough. But no one from Fnatic at the moment really stepping up. Every single player is going negative at the moment. So trying to play that frag style is going to be tough. It's going to be so tough. Often you can pull it off if 1 or 2 players are having a really good game, but hasn't really been the case here. Unfortunately, Mag as well will drop first once again here for Invictus. Jordan as well to get the opener. He's going 10-5. It's been a big game from Jordan, not known for getting huge numbers on the board. Lusty now inside of Private needs to win this fight, and he does.
Well, that's something. There you go. Fnatic do take their first step to getting it back, but once again, an opening pick against them. Once again, aggression punished, but hey, just as often it tends to work. Jordan's found another, though. He is going off, but finally shut down. Oh my god, what is this game, guys? We literally have one guy on the site for Fnatic, and it is just absolute mayhem. Speakeasy. What is this? Fnatic! What is this for Fnatic? This is the garage defense. 1v2, and Styx is on yellow stairs. He doesn't have site control. Surely Invictus have got it from here on out.
Oh, Styx is getting so aggressive. He lit up Luna before, and he's trying to close out that pick. Invictus in the 2v1, wanting to win this round, win the map, and get a 1-0 lead in this series. They're in a great position to do so. Styx, though, can try and maneuver his way around the map. Invictus, 2 players, 3 players dead, watching drones. Do they have the intel on this smoke?
Looks like Styx has got a little bit of intel for himself. Lobby cam is up. He's got callouts from his teammates. He's biding his time. IG, they just need to have the conviction, but I don't think it's going to work. The pre-fire! That's going to give him away, and the jig will be up for Styx. But not a lot of time for him to bait out here, as IG just flood deeper and deeper into this impenetrable fortress. Styx is going to try and make something work down the elevator hatch. Proning on through, he might be able to deny this plant, but Luna gets it down. Now a difficult position for Styx. Invictus take map 1 in what can only be described as a chaotic map from Fnatic. Invictus go 1-up in the series.
A strong start for Invictus. They punish the aggression from Fnatic, who are clutching at straws to get advantages in these rounds. Invictus too good in the end. A 7-3 scoreline could have been even worse for Fnatic had it not have been for a couple of sloppy attack rounds there from Invictus. A huge match from Jordan.